Hey guys, what's up? Death Star again, bringing you another video. Got me some more silver. You know, I've seen a lot of people in like YouTube comments and other things kind of say they don't like shopping at Amazon for silver. And, you know, they say there's a lot of fakes out there. But this silver package I have right here, these ones right here, this is actually not coins. So this actually came from companies in Italy, and I'll show you what they are. Actually, I don't think I need a knife for this one. I have my knife up here just in case. Check it out. I found this when I was like 10, so like 18 years ago, at like a hill where people go sledding. And still a pretty good knife. Still pretty sharp. I don't know how old it was prior to me finding it. I mean, you can tell it looks a little older, at least in person, the way the paint or whatever is coming off on it. So yeah, so let's open this up. I'll show you guys what I got. There's one, there's two, there's three. Now these are, at least on Amazon, they said they were smaller companies that came from Italy. And the reason why I picked some companies that were Italian is because I'm 60% Italian. I actually did a DNA test thing recently called 23andMe, and it told me I had 60% Italian and like the other 40% or 39 was like other European, like so like 7% Scandinavian, 3% German, 4%, you know, this, 10% Irish, 10% British, you know, things like that. But mainly I was 60% Italian. It also said I had 1.2% Coptic Egyptian in me. That was a little bit of a surprise, but still pretty cool. I knew I had a lot of Italian in me because a lot of my grandparents and their family had people that came from Italy, immigrated here in probably like 1930s or something. So yeah, we're gonna open this up. Now these are all sterling silver. So 925 sterling silver. I don't know what the heck this is. Okay, just a promotion code. I thought maybe it was a certificate saying, oh, this is silver, blah, blah, blah. This company is a little more known in Italy, I'm assuming, because when I Googled this company, they had a pretty cool looking website. And when I Googled this company, it was harder to find the websites. And I'm not going to pronounce these words because I don't know how to speak Italian, so I don't want to look, you know, pretty dumb trying to pronounce things I don't know how to pronounce. But yeah, these all should have a good amount of silver in them. They're Cuban chains and things like that. So this one right here is supposed to be a Cuban chain, which I think is pretty cool looking. The lock design is a little different on it. You can zoom in on it. There you go. Oh, it says 925 on it. It'll zoom. There you go. There's a little bit of zooming. 925. That's probably the sterling in it, the silver. But I don't know. Let's compare it between this. Well, we'll compare the other ones with it too. I guess I won't throw away this packaging. Probably should keep it. Take the tape off it. That'd be pretty cool. Put tape on these things. Let's check this one out now. All right. This kind of has like it says made in Italy. All these are made in Italy. Here's another Cuban chain. It kind of has the tag on it. This is how like a lot of watches come in. A lot of watches come in like this with the little tag on it, or like clothings. You'll see clothings like that. So there's another Cuban chain. You know, honestly, I'm thinking I like this one a little better. This one looks too thin. This one looks like it's brittle and thin, like it'll break easy. All right, I don't want to mix them up. Okay, we know this one goes in this box. I guess it don't matter if we mix it up, as long as I get a box. All right, and this one, also made in Italy. I'll show you this. This one I thought was pretty cool. They all have their little bags. Check that out. Even though I'm not religious at all, I do like crosses when it comes to jewelry. And these are all silver. Again, this chain is also a little too thin. Here, I'm going to compare it real quick. I think this is stainless steel. I believe this is stainless steel. And we know this is silver. Well, all these are silver. But you can tell that there's a little bit of a color difference. I don't know if they're all like that or what. But yeah, this one is stainless steel, I believe. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a color difference. The other two look more shiny. Or the other three, I should say. But yeah, even though I'm not religious, I definitely love these kind of crosses on necklaces and things like that. But we'll zoom in on it. I think I can get it to zoom. There we go. There we go. Has like a cross and a little rope on it, you see? Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Now, see, I would say that all of these are investments. As long as you don't wear them every single day and start, you know, nicking at them and things like that. But I would say all these are investments. Kind of like a silver coin, you know. Look at this. This thing has been around for, look at the date. This is the one I picked up recently. I got a bunch of these, but this has been around for almost 140 years. See the date on it? 1884. 1884. So that's been around for almost so 140 years. 139. Next year it's going to be 140. So if you bought this 139 years ago, it would still be a coin. It would still do what it's supposed to do. You know, it feels pretty thick. It feels like silver. It's not going to break if you kind of drop it. I don't want to drop it too hard because I want to nick it up. But here, it didn't break. It's not super brittle. It still does what it's supposed to do. We can't guarantee, like, let's say a stock. We can't guarantee that Amazon will be around 140 years from now. Who knows what companies will look like 140 years from now? Who knows what Google will look like 140 years from now? There's no guarantee with that kind of stuff. I guess you could say there's no guarantee with gold and silver too, but this is not going to go bankrupt. I mean, these can get stolen, things like that, but for the most part, if you take decent care of it, it should last. Same with these. These should last 140 years, you know, unless you are wearing it every day and really just not taking care of your stuff, you know. See, I don't think I like these chains. Looks like they're going to, like I said, these are too thin. This one's at least too thin. This one, I like this one a little more. It's not as thin. Actually, this color looks brighter than this color. I think they did something to polish that or something. I don't know if you can see it, but this one looks brighter than that one. But yeah, these are all sterling silver, so these, to a certain extent, are an investment. Again, if you wear it every day, then it's not. But, you know, like art or a nice car, like a DeLorean. Like if you held onto a DeLorean and didn't drive it every single day, it's going to hold some value. The car DeLorean. Or like any car, you know, I bet people that buy Ferraris and don't drive them a lot could flip it and get their money back. You know, one of those kind of deals. And I just wanted to jump into one more thing before I can end this video here, but I just want to talk about one more thing before I let you guys go. Just something that kind of crosses my mind every now and then when I'm driving my car and, you know, going to the store or something. I kind of just think, you know, is the rat race worth it? You know, the rat race that lets me buy this gold and silver and own a house and buy a car and things of that nature. You know, stocks. I own a lot of stocks. And so, like, I'm going to tell a little bit of my story. Everybody probably has their own little rat race story, but when I was 18, 28 now, about to be 29 here in October. But when I was 18, I was going to LCC, this community college, and you know, I was there for about maybe 3 months or a semester or something, and I quit. You know, but I didn't quit and do dumb things. I didn't quit and go do drugs and party my life away and this and that. I quit and I ended up just going to like a manufacturing job. And I just started working 70 hours a week. And I just kept doing that nonstop. I left that job for another manufacturing job. That was more of a warehouse, but I left that one for another manufacturing job. I kind of bounced around a little bit with the temp agencies, but I ended up at a place and I've been there now for 8 years. And I wasn't working 70, 80 hours every week, but there was a lot of weeks I was working 70, 80 hours. And I took that money and I just kept dumping it in the stock market. So I'm 28 right now, and you know, the stock market went down a bunch. And now I probably only have 350,000 in stocks, you know, and then I got a bunch of gold and silver too, now in a house. So, you know, I would say the rat race for me was a good thing, but it was also a bad thing. You know, I had to Google what other people thought about the rat race. I went on Reddit real quick and I kind of printed off this and read it. You know, is the rat race worth it? And there were some cool comments on here, and some people had some pretty interesting perspectives, but I think this person right here, I starred him on the paper, had probably the best perspective on it. He said, I'll just read one or two sentences. So, everything has opportunity cost. Sometimes you sacrifice for the job, sometimes you sacrifice for family, sometimes you sacrifice for yourself. I can tell you that all of these, except one, is worth it. So, you know, then he kind of goes on and he says, the sacrificing for jobs is not a good thing. You know, but what I got out of that was the opportunity cost. And I can see the sacrificing your job. You don't want to sacrifice your family and friends for a job, you know. But at the same time, money is definitely, you know, because I've definitely sometimes to a degree missed some family get-togethers. I try to go to most of them. But when I used to work a whole bunch, I don't work that much now, but the more hours you work, the harder it is to go to every single family get-togethering type thing. But it is kind of an investment to a certain extent, you know, because now I can take that money and I can go to college if I want to, or, you know, I could travel the world and things like that. You know, when it comes Christmas time, since I work a lot, I can afford pretty good gifts, you know. Things of that nature. So I would say the rat race is worth it, but it also is not worth it. Because it's worth it in the sense that, you know, like I said, I can travel if I want. I can go to college if I need to. If I lose my job, I have a good amount of savings built up. You know, I could buy my friends cool presents on Christmas or their birthdays. But the con to it is, you know, I could have just literally traveled the world. You know, I could have, instead of investing that money, I could have hung out with more friends. You know, and I guess, you know, at the same time, relationships always don't work out the way you think it is. But, you know, I could have hung out with more friends. I could have traveled a little more. You know, I got one friend, he's traveled the world. And those experiences he had, because he's been to Germany, and he's my age. He's been to China, India, you know, those experiences he had, I've never had experiences like those. So, you know, that guy, even though he's not super financially sound, I told him he should just write that stuff down and maybe write a book if he keeps doing that. I mean, not too many people I know at 28 that have been to like 10, 12 different countries. And back to this guy real quick. He also goes to say, other than, family and friends is what you should be loyal to, your loved ones, which I agree with that statement. I agree with it. But he also says this, and I find this kind of interesting because I think it's true to a certain extent. He says, I can tell you that if you spend 9 years at the same place, people will look at you like you have a third eye on your forehead when you're interviewing. See, and then he kind of goes on to say, also different companies use different technologies, so you won't be used to those technologies. But, in job interviews, because sometimes on a blue moon I look for a different job. Like right now, I got another job interview on Monday to possibly go learn welding. So I might actually jump ship from if they let me. If everything pans out the way I think it is, I'm going to try doing welding. But I got a job interview, and from what my own experience, the couple of job interviews I've done when I thought about leaving my current job, the people kind of looked at me like, wow, you've been at that place for 9 years? Like, you totally, absolutely do get looked at like you're kind of, I don't want to say a weirdo, but like you have a third eye. That's how they look at you. I don't know if that's normal for people to spend that much time at a job in their early 20s. Maybe it's something more normal in your 40s or something, or your 50s. You just get tired of job hopping. And I've never been the one to job hop. The only time I've ever had like other jobs is during layoffs, because I'm in the automotive industry, and there tends to be a lot of layoffs, especially now more than ever. I'm going to have to end up cutting these tags off. I just don't want to cut them off yet because I don't want to mix up the boxes, but these tags annoy me. That's a little off topic. But yeah, you definitely do get looked at a little weird when you do tell these people that, hey, I've been at this job for this long. But that's what I think about every now and then. Is the rat race worth it? It's a yes and a no. Both of them are equally true. I don't regret. The last 2 or 3 years I've been working less hours, but I don't regret doing all those 70, 80-hour work weeks because I saved up the money, I invested it. I have stocks, I have gold and silver. I generally tend to buy silver, obviously. I like probably silver more than gold. But like I said, just because you can buy more. But like I said, though, I did invest and I wasn't a total idiot with it. And I think I would recommend people in their early 20s work a lot. That is my recommendation. If you can go to college without getting a lot of debt, that's solid too. But I recommend working a lot in your early 20s. Don't do that into your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. I don't know about all that, but when you're young, you can work off 2 hours of sleep. I still probably could go off 2 hours of sleep. I'm only 28, about to be 29, but when you hit 35, 45, 50, you don't want to be trying to do an 18-hour shift back-to-back like that. It's going to be too hard on the body. But guys, appreciate you stopping in. This video is also longer than what I wanted it to be, but oh well. I got to get to other stuff. It's a Sunday, so I'll talk to you all later. Hope you all have a nice day or a nice night wherever you live. And Death Star out. Bye.